Welcome, dear children, to another wonderful Bible story. Today we will learn about two brothers who were the sons of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel. This story teaches us about love, obedience, and the danger of jealousy. It is called The Story of Cain and Abel from Genesis chapter 4. After Adam and Eve were sent out of the beautiful Garden of Eden, they began a new life on the earth. The garden they once lived in was full of peace and beauty, but now they had to work hard to grow food and care for themselves. God had promised to still be with them, and He blessed them with children. Their first son was named Cain, and their second son was named Abel. Cain grew up to be a farmer who tilled the soil and planted crops. Abel became a shepherd who loved to take care of his sheep. Cain worked under the hot sun, plowing the ground and planting seeds that would later grow into fruits and vegetables. Abel, on the other hand, spent his days out in the fields, watching over his sheep as they grazed peacefully on green grass. Both brothers worked hard, and both knew that everything they had came from God. So, one day, they each decided to bring an offering to the Lord as a way of saying, "Thank you." Abel carefully looked at his flock and chose his very best lamb. It was strong, healthy, and without any blemish. He brought it to God with a happy heart, knowing that he was giving God his best. Cain also brought some of the crops he had grown, but his heart was not the same. He didn't bring his best or give with love and thankfulness. His offering was just something he decided to give, not something that came from a joyful heart. When the two brothers offered their gifts, God looked at both of them, not just at what they gave, but at their hearts. God was pleased with Abel and his offering because Abel gave with love and faith. But God was not pleased with Cain or his offering because Cain's heart was filled with pride and selfishness. When Cain saw that God accepted Abel's offering but not his, he became very angry and jealous. His face grew dark with rage.
"Why are you angry, Cain?" God asked. "Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, you will be accepted. But if you do not do what is right, sin is waiting at your door. It wants to control you, but you must rule over it." God warned Cain because he loved him and didn't want him to make a terrible mistake. But Cain didn't listen. Instead of letting go of his anger, he allowed it to grow stronger and stronger in his heart.
One day Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field."
Abel followed him, not knowing what his brother was planning. When they were alone, Cain attacked Abel and killed him. It was the first time death had entered the world. The ground that once brought forth life now held the blood of an innocent man. After a while, the Lord spoke to Cain and said,
"Where is your brother Abel?"
Cain answered coldly.
"I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?"
But God already knew everything that had happened. With a heavy heart, God said,
"What have you done? Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are cursed from the ground that has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the soil, it will no longer yield good crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth."
When Cain heard this, he was filled with fear. He said, "My punishment is too great to bear. You have driven me away from the land and from your presence. Anyone who finds me will want to kill me."
But even though Cain had done such a terrible thing, God still showed mercy. He said, "No one who harms Cain will go unpunished."
Then God placed a mark on Cain as a sign that no one should harm him. Even in his judgment, God showed love and protection. So Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and lived in a land called Nod, east of Eden. There he started a family and built a city. His descendants became builders, musicians, and craftsmen. Though Cain's heart had turned from God, God's plan for humanity continued through Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were deeply saddened by what had happened to their sons. They had lost Abel, the son who loved God, and Cain had gone away because of his sin. But even in their sorrow, God brought them comfort. In time, Eve gave birth to another son, and they named him Seth. Eve said, "God has given me another child in place of Abel." Through Seth's family, people began to worship and call on the name of the Lord once again. And so, children, this story teaches us something very important. God sees our hearts more than the gifts we bring. When we give, we should give with love and thankfulness. When we feel jealous or angry, we must stop and pray before those feelings grow into sin. Cain could have chosen to forgive, to do right, and to love his brother, but he let anger take control. We should learn from his mistake. If you ever feel angry with someone, remember what God told Cain. Sin is waiting at your door, but you must rule over it. That means you have a choice. You can choose love over hate, peace over anger, and kindness over jealousy. God helps us make the right choice when we pray and trust Him. So let us always love one another, share what we have with thankful hearts, and do our best in everything we offer to God. When we love God and others, He is pleased, and His blessings will always follow us. Thank you for listening to the story of Cain and Abel. May this story remind you to keep your heart pure, to love your brothers and sisters, and to always do what is right in God's eyes. Until next time, keep trusting in the Lord and walking in His love.